Hi everyone from ITC. I'm Dr. Huang Tsai Chun. Basically, I'm from Taiwan. I major in costume design in BA in National Taiwan University. During my MA study, I get into the interest of repetitive pattern. Later, I know there's a very interesting technique in fashion fabric manipulation called pleating. Therefore, I apply for textile design, get into more material focus. I have my PhD study registered under Royal College of Art in London, and I just finished my PhD last March. So I'm pretty fresh to ITC, joined last September. In 2016, I made a fashion collection in London. It's filmed in Soho. It's my first fashion collection in Royal College of Art, kind of responded to the traditional pleating technique I learned from the Simon pleating studio. And also, I made a dance costume for Ono Petrov, an English singer. So I think costume is a perfect medium for pleats. As a dancer or performer or actors, when they wear the pleating costume, their movement on the stage will move the motion of the pleats. So you can see how pleats go along with the motion and sometimes inspire audience emotion. So this costume and body, pleats and emotion is a very interesting idea to play between these four. That will be the focus of my practice-led research. Before I came to PolyU, I took quite a lot of short courses, mainly around fabric manipulation and also portfolio and conceptual building. I found there's a big difference between the East and the West. When I studied in the UK, we really focus on concepts, especially for new ideas. However, when I return to the Asia and I see students building their fashion collection, their work is mainly about feeling. And somehow it didn't give you an in-depth research toward your fashion collection. So this is what I want to bring back from the UK. After my PhD study, I kind of categorized pleats into four types. The first one is stitch pleats, the second one is thermal pleats, and the third type is structural pleats, and the last one is digital pleats. Before I came here, I kind of thoroughly investigated stitch pleats and also thermal pleats. So when I'm here, I would like to further develop more of structural pleats and the digital pleats. This is an conductive pants pleats, and this is part of my kind of original idea or starting point of the material plate lab, how these pleats become smart. Smart textile is a hit topic currently, and I constantly thinking, how do we make pleats smart? So before I left Royal College of Art, I kind of worked with the soft system textile student. We screen print these conductive paints onto a certain area of the pleats. And we also screen print the structure of the circuit. So one day, hopefully, a pleat can become a switch. So when the pleats move, it will connect the circuit together and connect the electricity. So that's kind of the starting point of my material plate lab. These will be the digital pleats, as I mentioned, the fourth category, because it's 3D printing. However, it's different from the traditional 3D printing, which is very hard and it's basically plastic. This one is SLS. 3D printing is a powder-like material. It's a collaborator with my research colleague back in the Royal College of Art. And you can see that it's a pleated-like structure and it's really soft. And we can apply it onto like Peking opera costume. So this is the digital pleats I mentioned. And in terms of structural pleats, I did in the knitting lab and the weaving lab. Technician helped me to use Shimaseki machine and we examine the structure of the pleats, and we apply different stitch structure onto different places. For example, for the folding line, which is the origami lines, we use different structure to distinguish the front and the back. So the front will be the mountain fold, and the back will be the valley fold. And we apply the half Milano structure for the surface to give it a stiffness. So this is a structural pleat, and hopefully I will further develop it, and it's pure wool, which is not really achievable through thermal pleat, the traditional pleating method, because natural fiber can't keep the pleat well. So this is what I did in PolyU in this March. And also I worked with weaving technician. He helped me to weave these knife pleats, and it's purely cotton. So this natural fiber, as I said before, is very difficult for pleating. So here I want to dedicate my research in pleating and expanding different type of material that can keep the pleats in a very nicely way. So hopefully in the next 2 years I can establish this lab I call Material Plate Lab. When we talk about practice lab research, it's led by making. But as a researcher, we also value the historical material, which is really fed into our research to give our research into a more in-depth level. Back in the UK, during my study, I found this pleating machine from 1866. It's kind of iron with this woven texture. So it kind of gives the fabric this pleated texture. This is a machine I carry with me all the time when I try to do this pleating workshop, to give a student a sense of the history of the pleats from ancient time to the Victorian age to now current what Issey Miyake has done. I would say for student who is dedicated in design, maybe we should do more research, maybe do more research in the library, from books, not just from internet. So that's kind of like my advice would give to design students.